Okay, so yeah, I've been absent for quite a while these past few weeks, or I even want to say months, with just Cardfight updates, just here and there talking about cards, but usually very outdated with stuff. And I want to change that. I'm trying to be more consistent with uploads and content this month as well as moving forward. But work has just been very hectic. And that said, I'm not going to cover most of the reveals already happened with set 8 because set 8 is done and set 9 is right around the corner. So we're going to immediately start with the new stuff. And talking about set 9, the one thing that I want to go over, and you already seen in the thumbnail and the title of this video, is the brand new trailer. In the last product stream that we had last week, we saw a brand new trailer for a set 9, which reveals a bunch of information about new units, potential new ride lines, support for existing ride lines, and a very interesting surprise at the end of the trailer, which you probably have seen all over social media and the speculation running rampant, and that's what I also want to discuss in this video. So today we're going to take a look at the trailer, dissect every single detail about it, which new units are going to be introduced, which archetypes are going to be supporting, and as well as new ride lines. So a lot to go over. So let's dive into it. Stand up, Vanguard! Okay, so this is the first time that we're doing this type of content on the channel, so bear with me. I'm trying not to pause too much, but I'm probably going to pause on every single frame here because things are going to be rapid firing here, and I want to take my time to analyze every single detail, and I don't want to miss anything. So, without any further ado, let's start this 1-minute trailer. So we begin pretty fast, but this is pretty obvious. So, at the beginning part here, we of course see new Spike Brother support cards, and it's going really fast, so I'm gonna slow this down a bit so we can see at least every single unit in frame. And it's pretty obvious that these are all Bruce support cards, because as we can see here, we see the Bruce icon on the sleeve of this unit, as well as on this unit we see it on the shield, and then the following unit we see it on the shoulder pad. So it's to no surprise, these are all Bruce support cards. And if you're wondering what's like in frame 1 that we see here, what we see, I don't know if you can catch it. Okay, so that what you see here, this is essentially, either this is a new order artwork, but what I assume what this is the bottom part of the new Bruce, because look at the angle, and look at the corner, we see the purple wing, and that is essentially, as we take a look at the new Bruce, bear with me with the scuffed audio here because of the slow motion. But as you can see here, it is essentially the same angle as this Bruce. So that is pretty much what we see so far with the Bruce support in this set. And as we all know, Bruce is going to be probably one of the front runners of this set, as this is the main unit on the artwork for the Japanese version of set 9. So I assume we're going to be heavily focusing on this new purple Bruce with a lot of support dedicated to it, or maybe a lot of good support for it. Now, moving forward, okay, this is a brand new unit, but we will come back to this one. So this is part of a new archetype, including this card and this unit. And then, of course, this unit. So this is the brand new unit that we have for Brandt Gate. And this has already been confirmed. This is a Brandt Gate unit. And we all see this is like the new Dimension Police card. And the reason why I say that all the cards we just saw are support cards for this card is because of the icon, just like we see with all the Bruce units having the Bruce logo on their uniforms. We see a specific logo on the shoulder pad of this unit. And if we go back to the other cards or the other artworks, here we see the same logo on his jacket, then we see the same logo on the shoulder pad of this unit, and then we see the same logo on this wing of this card. Now, one thing I just noticed while watching this trailer, I never realized this beforehand, but look if we slow this down quite a lot. Then we see something here. This is interesting, because this is clearly the same unit as this. But it's very clearly a different artwork. So what I'm going to assume here is that this is not just a aesthetically thrown in just here for showcasing a new card. This is clearly going to be an order card. This is either going to be a normal order or a blitz order, but what I'm going to assume is because it's Brandt Gate, this might be the set order mechanic for this new archetype, this Dimension Police-like card. And we also see in the background here a different unit. This might just be background artwork, but that also could be a new unit as well for this archetype. So who knows if that's going to be coming up in the future as well. So keep that in mind here. So this, again, is the next ride line support that we see. So I assume this is either the grade 0 or the grade 1 of the ride line. And this is the follow-up, this is the evolution. And then Plan Token, that's very important. And this is the new main boss unit for Stoicheia. So this is the new ride line for Stoicheia in this set. Now, why I'm going to assume that this is the ride line. So this is the grade 0, this is the grade 1, this is grade 2. And then we have Plan Token, and then this is the grade 3. Now, thinking about that, might it be the same case for the other ride line? Does it work? Grade 0, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Ooh, that could be... Okay, so this could be the new ride line, which is interesting because this is a human. Then we have a robot, which makes sense. A bigger robot, and then the giant robot. So that's probably this is going to be the new ride line, now that I think about it. So this is probably the same ride line, and I assume it's going to do something with Plan Tokens because, interesting enough, that's the original artwork of Plan Token. But now we see this. So this could be a unit, but what I'm going to assume, this is going to be a new evolution of a Plan Token that we've seen in the V series, where we had these like 10k Plan Tokens. This is probably going to go the same direction with this ride line, and I'm going to assume this is the mechanic for this ride line, that they're going to interact with Plan Tokens in a different way than we've seen so far, which is interesting. Now, then we see the new Brandt Gate and the new Dark Stage stuff. This is probably going to be the same thing with the new ride line as well, just we've seen so far, because there's a new Dark Stage ride line as well. These are the 3 new ride lines in this set. So if we're going to go with the same direction, this could be the new starter. This is going to be the new grade 1, the new grade 2, and then we have this card, which is very interesting because this is really out of left field. This is not the main grade 3, by the way. This is probably like a main supporter for this ride line, like a new grade 3 supporter or something. Or this could be like a whole different thing for Dark Stage. But the actual main grade 3 is this. This has already been confirmed. This is the main unit for this new ride line. So I think these vampire girls, this is a new grade 2. This is the grade 1. And this is the grade 0. That's what I'm going to assume here. So it's the same trend that we see with the other ride lines in this trailer. Then, moving over to this. We see this dragon. I have no clue. This could be... I can see this either being Keter Sanctuary support, or this could be a Dark Stage. This doesn't feel like a Dragon Empire dragon. This is either one of the two, if I'm going to be honest. Because it's a bit too either darkish or Royal Knightish with the armor on it. So, this is clearly Keter Sanctuary support, because this looks very similar to Sakramor and Kahedin and Oel type of stick. So I will probably put the cards on the field, on the screen, so you can see the comparison between this artwork and those cards. It feels very much like those cards, so might be a homage to the archetype and those units specifically. Now this is obviously Keter Sanctuary support, another Keter Sanctuary Gen X support. Okay, this is interesting, because this is most likely Brandt Gate, but this could be 2 things. This could either be hero support, because it's like the hero base and whatnot, but this could also maybe be something with the product ride line. I'm hinging more towards the heroes, but it could be something with the product as well. And then, of course, we see this guy, and this is the reason why I say product, because most of the product supporting units are like these commando-esque pilot units that we see with all these supports, and not really with the heroes. The heroes are like the individual cards themselves, but it could be either way, if I'm gonna be honest. Now then we see this. This is obviously Brandt Gate to some extent. Like, it feels, what's her face? It feels very Gravidia like this. Then again, Gravidia support to my opinion. So, okay, this could be 2 things. We know the left card. That had already been revealed so far. That's one of the 2 cards that have been revealed for set 9, and there's also 2 cards within this trailer. Left one we know is Flagberg support. The right one could easily be Flagberg support as well, but it could be Maelstrom support. And the reason why I say specifically Maelstrom support is because of the following card that we're going to see here. I'm sorry, but this is literally Blue Wave Martial Fleet Dragon. Or at least, I think that's the name that I remember. Essentially the Blue Wave support card, Dragon for values that we have. Like, if this is literally on the nose, in my opinion, or I'm completely misremembering the artwork when I put it on screen so you can see it for yourself, this is very close to that. So, because it's very reminiscent of that card, I feel like that's at least some hint to like previous Aqua Force support, and with Maelstrom just being a thing, I can see like more Maelstrom specific support, but who knows? It could also just be Flagberg. We have to wait and see, but I like the artwork, and this definitely feels like a strong grade 3, or at least a grade 3. It could be like absolutely nothing and wasted artwork, but it feels like a grade 3. Would be weird if this is a grade 1 or a grade 2. Okay, so okay, here we go fast again, so I need to be very fast with pausing. This is obviously Youthberg support. It's the same as the Witch grade 1 that gives you like extra drive checks. This feels like that. Yes, you could say like generic Keter support, but I would be surprised if this isn't Youthberg support. Then this is some generic Magnolia support, I believe, because this is definitely a Sylvanhorn card. Then this is, well, we immediately assume this is going to be hero support, and that's already been confirmed because this is a brand new B hero card, and it's actually a pretty solid B hero nonetheless. So maybe that means we're going to have more B hero support in this set as well. Then this feels like a generic Dark States card. It could literally be anything. This is obviously Eugene support because it's like a Desert Gunner, so this is definitely Eugene support. Now this is interesting because I believe we already got like a Cater Sanctuary sub-archetype with the Battle Maidens or something like that in the one of the first Overdress set, but I don't remember correctly. But this feels like it is 100% Cater Sanctuary, and it feels like this is going to support Hexorb Sorceress. That's my inkling suspicion here. This is one of the cards that really caught me off guard. This feels like just a generic Dragon Empire card, and you would be right. But the thing is, there is a very specific Kagero promo that came out like way back. This art looks very similar to that card. I will put it on screen as well here. And if I remember correctly, it had like a defensive effect that could disrupt your opponent. And this might be like a replicate of that card to some extent. It might be like a defensive option, but who knows? It could literally be anything. But it strikes me as all that the artwork is very similar, very similar to that particular card as well. Or again, I might be misremembering here, but the card on the screen will probably tell you more about that. This could literally be anything. I think this is like a Seal Dragon type of deal, so maybe Basraga support, but could be something else. Now this is obviously Trickstar, so this is Dragon Empire, Overdress support, a Cross Overdress support. What I feel like this is going to be like a normal order, but it could be a Blitz order that interacts with Cross Overdress units. And the reason why I say Blitz order specifically is because of the gold pattern here, and all the other previous gold pattern orders were like an X amount of shield value that you get. And I feel like this is probably going to interact with like Trickstar being in the original dress to do something. But we have to wait and see. So that's basically the end of the trailer. But then we have this, and this is quite interesting and a big surprise. So this doesn't tell us anything. I feel like this either is a starter card or a order to some extent, like the order of the main mechanic, what brings to it. Because then we have this. Yeah. Come on, just play it out. Okay, so to unpack what that basically is, so we have this image of the planet Krei, then we have this dark figure of a unit that we come back in a second, and then we have these units, these 5. Now, first off, this clearly is like some type of corruption, and the reason why I say that is this is literally a darker version of the world of Planet Krei that they showed us like at the beginning of Overdress. I will put a side-by-side comparison of the original trailer. You can see the difference in how the world looks. There's something clearly went wrong here. So this is probably like the new next villain of the series, or at least the game. That's like the new Glendios or the Gizeh or whatnot. And we already know the artwork of this card because they revealed it with the cover art for the English version of Set 9, which is like this plant dragon thing. So This is probably going to be the big next boss unit for the antagonist of the game, or the evil boss to defeat. But what it does and how it works, no clue. The only thing that we have is these units. And these units feels like evil counterparts of their nation itself. And that has to do with the number of units, but also what we see in the artwork. So the main thing is we see 5 units and we have 5 main nations. So we have Dragon Empire, Stoicheia, Keter Sanctuary, Brandt Gate, and Dark States. So if we connect one unit to one nation, it's clearly to say that the left one is Keter Sanctuary, the next one to that is Stoicheia, then we have Dark States, then we have Dragon Empire, and then we have Brandt Gate. Because these feels like dark versions of their nation, this has a link with what we've seen with reverse units, but also with the Xerath dragons. But Xerath dragons were like nation cards. That doesn't really apply with Overdress because everything is already a nation card, so that's not a unique mechanic to it. But this feels like a reverse-esque version of like units within the Overdress lore, which is quite interesting, and I'm very curious what type of direction they're going to take, because this feels like there's some type of apocalypse happening again to Cray. Because the reason why I specifically say apocalypse is because of these cards they revealed randomly at the end of the reveals for set 8. We found out that these cards were in set 8 without any context, but now that we know that these cards exist, as well as like this plant dragon, it's very much likely that this is going to be like something that's happening and something that's going on here. And I'm pretty much looking forward to what this actually going to mean. But it's very interesting what we see here. This is something that we've never seen before in Overdress, and this could literally be anything else, and it can go in wild directions. I'm very looking forward to the reveals of these cards, and I'm very much looking forward to what this mechanic, or if it's a mechanic, is going to be. Now, last thing I want to bring your attention is the Brandt Gate card, because I don't know, man. Literally frame 1, when I saw that card, the only thing I could think about was Crossover Dragon. And yes, I say that it's a Brandt Gate card, and Crossover Dragon is Gear Chronicle, aka Dark States, but you cannot deny the similarities between this and that. Yeah, it's very canny. So I don't know what that means, or if it means anything, but it's quite interesting, the similarities between these cards. And who knows, maybe we finally have an actual playable Crossover Dragon in the game. Would be pretty exciting. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack here, but things are about to heat up very soon because the set 9 reveals are about to happen. So let me know what you guys are most excited about and what we've seen in this trailer, or potentially we haven't seen in this trailer, as there's a lot to discuss. So let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, this video has been brought to you by our lovely patrons over patreon.com/VanguardInsider. You guys are amazing. If you do want to support the channel or everything that's happening on the channel, you can simply go to patreon.com/VanguardInsider and become a patron today. But with that said, I've been Mr. Time Leap, and I'll see you guys in the next one!